Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning, and today I want to look at the thing that underpins all of really good social care work, and that's relationships. And I suppose, really, when you develop that process out from there, it doesn't just underpin all great social care work, but indeed it underpins society. But at this time, during the pandemic, relationships can become very strained. We take on a lot of what's going on externally. We bring our fears into play. There's so much mixed messages and confusion out there. And at times like that, we tend to lean on those closest to us, both positively and negatively. And that's human nature. But in social care work, it's something that we really need to be mindful of. The thing that will keep those who we serve, those who live in our services, the thing that will keep the stability there is the relationships. The relationships, essentially, first of all, between those individuals and their key workers, and then beyond that, then to all the supporting staff and the ancillary staff and management and everyone else that's involved in supporting that individual. So when we're going to work on a daily basis, please give some thought and consideration and reflect a little bit on the classic, how do I feel today? And then how do they feel? And then what am I going to do to make sure that this is good? It's really difficult not to bring our fears into work at the moment, but it's really important that we don't. Because most of us are working with people in our services who are very vulnerable, who are very scared, and who may not process things as quickly or as simply as some of us do. Or they may just process it differently. So whether you're in intellectual or physical disability, whether you're in children's residential services, whether you're working in domestic violence, or whether you're working in unaccompanied minors, or whether you're working in, like I do, in homeless services, all of the people who access those services have their own way of processing things, as we have as well. But it's our role as social care workers to concentrate on the relationships, to keep the relationships positive and safe. And we know that, when we interrelate with someone in our own lives, perhaps a loved one or a friend or a family member, that the better the response we get from them, the safer we feel. Even when we go to them with a challenge, or we may not be on best form, and we may be rude or even abusive to them. But the fact that they can understand us and help us understand ourselves keeps us safe. And it almost gives us permission to step back into that space. So vulnerability within relationships is so important. So today and tomorrow and over the next few weeks, while this pandemic continues, consider the relationships that you've built up with the people who are using your services, and work really, really hard at those relationships, keeping the relationship space safe. And you will find that, that should have a calming effect on those that you're working with. And then outside of that, then, we're living on top of each other at the moment. So just be very mindful of that, and be open and honest about your feelings within the relationships at home as well. Because that's where the real damage can happen. You don't want that to happen. You want to be respectful of each other, respectful of your loved ones and your partners. Take a little bit of time to give each other space, If you have more than one room in your house, well, make sure that you're not constantly sitting on top of each other. Go and read while one is watching telly. Go and cook while one is doing something else. And if you find emotions rising in you that are not quite comfortable, and that you're not happy with, well, then talk them out. Because the relationships are what will take us through this and what will help us, essentially survive this emotionally, I'm talking about. So work hard at the relationships. Be honest around the relationships. Keep integrity within the relationships. Show those that we serve that relationships are valuable resources for all of us. Let's have some respect and some love and some resilience. I hope the next week or so is good. Talk to you soon.